Welcome to the Warframe weapon Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Kuva Tonkor. The only way to get this weapon is by vanquishing a Kuva Lich that's wielding it. Now, just in case you don't know how to do that, don't worry, because I recently made an updated guide for hunting Kuva Liches, and I will link it in the video description. The Kuva Tonkor is a primary grenade launcher that does a little bit of puncture damage with the actual grenade, which then explodes in an area of 7 meters, which does primarily blast damage, but there's still a lot of slash and puncture on the explosion as well. Now, outside of that, the Kuva Tonkor also comes with a very nice 30% crit chance, and above average 2.5 times crit multiplier, and a solid enough status chance of 17%. The Tonkor comes with a 1-round magazine, so you're gonna have to reload it after every shot, with the grenades detonating on impact. Now, the grenades fly fairly slowly, and they also have quite a bit of a drop-off to them, so you have to compensate for both projectile speed but also projectile drop-off. Now, the grenades don't have any minimum travel distance before they explode, so you have to be a little bit careful with them to not stagger or potentially in the future damage yourself. So all in all, the Kuva variant of the Tonkor is basically just a straight up upgrade over the standard Tonkor. It reloads faster, has more crit chance, has better status, and the damage distribution on the explosion is considerably better. It actually does more damage than the standard Tonkor even before you factor in the bonus extra damage type you can get on the Kuva variant based on the Warframe you spawn the Lich with. Now, as far as the bonus damage type goes, there are a few things you can do. I would recommend either Toxin or Cold if you're gonna go the Hunter Munitions route and rely on damage over time, but if you're gonna go the more upfront damage type route with big crits and big damage, you can get Electricity too. Now, for the damage over time setup, you want to do a hybrid with Viral and Hunter Munitions. This is much better if you have either bonus Code or Toxin, because you will need one dual stat mod to get Viral. But even if you don't have that, this setup actually has a flex slot, which I filled in with Heavy Caliber, which adds a nice bit of damage for all the factions. However, you can easily replace that with either a Primed Bane mod for some extra sweaty damage, or even Primed Firestorm for a much bigger explosion. I'm not a massive fan of this setup because it's pretty unreliable. Sometimes you fire grenade after grenade and just don't get any slash procs, and it feels bad because the upfront damage isn't all that great. And that's where this setup comes in, just a big boy crit build with tons of damage, and either Heavy Caliber if you want good damage across all the factions, or Primed Firestorm if you want bigger explosions. This works much better up to Sortie 3 because you don't have to rely on slash procs from Hunter Munitions, you just get big damage, but it doesn't have as much damage potential as the first setup. The Tonkor is one of my favorite primaries, not because of the damage it does, because the damage is, it's okay, it's a solid explosive weapon that's good for farming the star chart, but because of the way it plays, it feels different to a lot of the other explosive weapons. It actually reminds me of the Thumper from Tribes, which was by far my favorite weapon in that game, so it's not that big of a surprise that I like the Tonkor as well. So I am going to recommend the Kuva Tonkor. It is solid enough, especially if you have a Riven for it, because the disposition on it is quite good. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.